If anything happens after our death, that is also natural. Not created by God or the Buddha or anybody else. It is natural. Setting sun here this evening become the rising sun in another country. Exactly like this. When the life is departed from here, come into existence somewhere else according to our karmic energy. Nobody to handle that. Remember, life never dies. People are scared of death, not knowing what happened to them. This is not our life. This is the body, this is the house. Life is living in this house. This is the shelter to accommodate our life. Life process and mental energy, karmic energy combined together. Physical body support for that life to exist. When this body is going on decaying and collapse, the life goes away. Cannot live anymore here. That is called death. I cannot understand why people are scared of death. That is not the end of our life. That is the beginning of our life. When your passport is expired, why are you scared to renew your passport? Please remember, life never dies. There is nothing to die in life. It is an energy. Just now I mentioned life can exist in a certain world system without a physical body. We cannot understand that. But here in this part of the universe, life cannot exist without shelter. This is the shelter. So this shelter decay and collapse. So while we are living here, we have 4 elements. Heat, motion, solidity, fluidity. 4 elements are here. Then the mental energy, 4 kinds of mental energies combined together. Then the life started to function. After our death, 2 elements also immediately disappear. No heat, no wind. No breathing, no temperature. Disappear. Now remains only 2 elements here. If keep this for some time, fluid also disappear. There remain only solidity, bones. When you bury this, say after 75 years, dig and see nothing. Only earth. 4 elements absorb into the same element again. Then, when the life formation started in the mother's womb, these elements, cosmic energies, all those things support, combine, work together to build up. That is life. By knowing this, it is our duty to prepare while we are living here. If we depart from here without carrying anything in our hand for us to maintain our life, then the life becomes very miserable. Here in this part of the world, actually we are very fortunate. Because there is a saying of the Buddha in Mangala Sutra, Patirupa desa vasocha pubbecha kata punyata. Those who have done some meritorious deeds during their previous birth, they get the chance to be born in certain countries, certain places where they can maintain their life without facing so many troubles and problems and calamities and violence and disturbances. How fortunate we are. In certain countries, earthquake, volcanic eruption, millions of people dying and become, running here and there and searching. Then, 2 years ago, in North Korea, 2 million died without food. Go to certain other countries. Many people have no piece of cloth to cover their nakedness. Here in this country, before the Chinese New Year, people bring lorry load of old clothing and dump in the temple. When you open them, you can see most of them are not old, out of fashion. They throw them away. How we enjoy our life in this part of the world. Then, India. The temperature in certain areas, 60 degrees. Can you imagine? Here, when you come to 34, we grumble, cannot tolerate. 34. 60 degrees. 1,500 died last few weeks. Heat. And the winter, again, how many died during the winter? They cannot tolerate. So when you study one by one, compare with all the others, and countries where people are suffering in millions, like Iraq and many other countries. Violence, bloodshed, now still no food, no water, no light, no house, no job, nothing. 24 million human beings in Iraq suffering. Compare our way of life, how fortunate we are. That is why the Buddha says, those who have done some meritorious deeds in their life, they get the chance to be born in certain countries where they can lead their lives peacefully. Only religion can tell us this. Scientists do not know anything about this. Religion can do many things which scientists cannot do. This is the most important thing. As human beings, we need a religion because we can understand the nature of our life. We can mold, we can prepare for the next existence. After that, again, we can start from there, but continuity is there. When you develop your knowledge, understanding, and the virtues and principles and morals, this will become your habit, your nature. After death, all these good qualities continue. Mental energy and the life process are absorbed into this. Therefore, it is not actually new life. Next one. Only elements and cosmic energies come and combine. But all the ingredients we have taken from here. Mental energy, life process, we carry from here. The Buddha has mentioned this. Viññānaṁ mātukuchismiṁ okkamati. When this one is rotten, our consciousness transmit, depart from here. In that consciousness, we have avidya, trusna, karma, upadana, bhava, craving and ignorance and karmic energy and attachment, karma formation. all are in our consciousness. We do not know that. We think only mental energy. That is why this can transmit, this one depart from here, will be landed in a place according to our karmic energy. Karmic energy divert either this way or this way or this way. By knowing this through our religion or from any religion, this is not the first and the last. We must prepare. We cannot carry our property, what we have accumulated within this lifetime. Artha gruhe nivurtante smasane mitra bandha. Everything what we have collected during our lifetime, we had to drop here, cannot carry anything with us. A very rich man who strongly believes that if people put anything into his coffin, he will get it back in the next life. Still there are some people. Do you know, during the Chinese funeral, I have seen, when the undertakers are going to close the coffin, they ask the family members to look at the wall, this side. Don't look at. Do you know the secret? Those days, they used to put many valuable things into the coffin. When they are watching the wall, they take out and put everything here and there. Still you believe this. Still you are watching the wall. So, what happened? Very rich man who strongly believed that he can get back many things in the next life, he has given 100,000 to his doctor, 100,000 to his priest, I don't know which religion, and 100,000 to his lawyer. Ask them to put this money into the coffin in front of others. So this man is dead. 3 of them also came. Then the doctor. Yes, no doubt he has given me 100,000. He has not settled my medical bills. I have taken 25,000. And the balance he put in the coffin. Then the priest came. Yes, he has given 100,000. Do you know the place of worship in our, I cannot see church or temple, I cannot use the word, the leaking, I spent 30,000 to repair the roof. The balance I put. Then the lawyer came. You know, lawyers are very honest people. You know? They never bluff me. Lawyer came and scolded both of them. You have disappointed this poor man. Don't worry. I am going to replace what they have spent. And my 100,000 and what they have spent, he issued account pay cash check. Put in the coffin. And same thing will happen to you also if you believe that you get something hereafter, anything put in the coffin. You know, Chinese are very clever people. They are the only people who could manage to open a bank in the hell. Americans who have landed on the moon still could not open a bank in the hell. So, my dear friend, Buddhism is to open our mind to understand. Why Chinese wanted to learn Buddhism? Because more than 5,000 years old culture, philosophy they had in China. Ancient culture, human culture on this earth. During Confucius period, that is only 80 years after the Buddha, Confucius lived. And Lao Tzu 30 years after the Buddha. So they approached Confucius and asked, is there any life again after our death? Confucius said, still we have not learned what this life is. How do we know that there will be another life? So they could not satisfy with that. Another group came and asked, is there anything that we can do for our departed ones? Confucius said, still we have not learned how to fulfill our duty to living one. What can we do for the dead one? That is why they have decided to go to India. 2,000 years ago, they have taken so much of troubles and pains. Do you know the going from China to India at that time, by crossings and rivers and desert and jungles and such a long period. If 50 people started, maybe 20 people reached there, others died on the way. But they had courage. After going there, they studied, they observed very carefully how they practice religion. Because there were 3 religions very active. Hinduism, Jainism and Buddhism. Observe very carefully how they practice these 3 religions. Then they noticed, to practice Hinduism or Jainism, they must follow Indian tradition, Indian custom, Indian way of life. Otherwise they cannot practice. But to practice Buddhism, it is not necessary to follow Indian tradition. That means Chinese knew it is not necessary for Chinese to become Indians to practice Buddhism. They learned only Buddhism, gone back and introduced without any difficulty in China. Chinese culture and Buddhism combined together. No difficulty. But other religions, no one can practice in this way. Now if you become the follower of another religion tomorrow, there are many things you have to give up. They say, cannot. According to our religion, you cannot eat this, you cannot go there, you cannot do this. But if others come and join into Buddhism, there is nothing to change. If they are not doing any wicked and cruel and immoral things, nothing else for them to change. That means the Buddha has given due credit to culture and tradition. He mentioned in one of his discourses, Kalama Sutra, he said, if your culture and traditions are meaningful, significant, don't think these are age-old traditions. Follow them. If they are meaningless, useless, don't follow them thinking this is our own tradition. This is the advice given by the Buddha. Let us take Malaysia. Up to 14th century, here, Malaya, only 2 religions, Buddhism and Hinduism. When the chief of Malacca, I heard he was a Hindu, embraced Islam. After that, the whole country became a Muslim country. Even the name of Buddhism completely disappeared from this country. nearly 500 or 600 years. Then Chinese started to migrate, 19th century, 20th century, and settle down here. They are the ones who have started Buddhist way of life in Malaya. After that, of course, they followed only Chinese tradition, Chinese culture, Chinese way of life to practice Buddhism. Then Sri Lanka, Thailand, Burma, they also come and join with them, then modified. The Buddhism that we are practicing in this country today, mixture of Chinese, Sri Lankan, Thai and Burmese. Today 19% the population follow this religion. Second major religion in this country. So, the freedom that we have to think freely and to follow our traditions and customs freely, and religious belief not as law or commandment, but not because of fear of punishment, but knowing these things are wrong, immoral, wicked, harmful, then we try not to do. We try our best not to do through our understanding. Again, certain things are very important to release others' suffering. Suffering from sicknesses, old age, poverty and fear and worries. It is our duty to release them. It is our meritorious deed. Not simply by worshipping and praying. Meritorious deed. There was a well-known Hindu, Swami Vivekananda, well-known name all over the world. One day, when he visited a place, he saw a group of people in front of an image, beating drums and blowing trumpet, burning incense and singing and singing. Then he came and asked, "What are you doing here?" Then they told, "We are praying and worshipping to this God for blessing." Then Vivekananda said, "Throw away all this rubbish. Do you think you can bluff God beating your drum and blowing your trumpet? Throw away all this rubbish. Go out. There are so many who need your service, who are having sicknesses, who are dying, who are starving, who have no shelter. Go and do something to release their suffering. Then you get the blessing from God, not by beating your drum." The Buddha also wanted to introduce this type of religious way of life. You can say you worship, you can say you pray, you can say you perform also rites. Buddha was not interested in all those things. If you try to be good, if you try to do good for the well-being of others, then you really respect the Buddha, you follow the Buddha, then you are real Buddhist. You are following real religious way of life. 9:10. What time did we start? Good. So why not we allow them to ask some questions?
Thank you, Chief Reverend. We shall now open to the floor for questions and answers. Please use the 2 mics provided in the house.
Books.
Buddhists. They claim themselves as a Buddhist, but in actual fact, the definitions of Buddhist and Taoism, there's a definition on that.
And manners and duties, all are there. Therefore, whatever they practice, they cannot do away with them. Deeply penetrated in their mind as Chinese culture. Therefore, there are certain occasions It's very embarrassing. And the Christian and Muslims ridicule our way of doing certain things, especially Chinese funerals. When they watch what they are doing, they really condemn and bad names. Buddhism get the bad name. But if they can practice this thing, this is our Chinese tradition, Chinese custom, not Buddhism. And religious aspect is separate. Then no one can say they are bad Buddhists. Customs and tradition and religion. Later, when their understanding, maturity, experience, knowledge develop, they can minimize, they can reduce as much as possible what they can. That is the only. Otherwise, you cannot throw them away at once, just because of Buddhism.
Thank you.
I think from your talk, it gives me the impression that for some system of belief to be classified as a religion, it has to do with after death or the next life. I think all human beings, being intelligent, they also follow a certain style of life or way of life. And just as you say, the free thinkers don't call themselves religious people. They just say they are free thinkers. So for something to be labeled a religion, you probably will say it has to do with the issue of the next life or the afterlife. But even the extent of the human intelligence, as you said in your lecture, and the progress of science, nowadays we have this concept of cloning. One day, in your opinion, if we perfected cloning, do we really need the concept of God? Do we then really need a religion? Since by the technique of cloning, we don't die. I can create one of myself, one of another self. Then what is the place of religion then? Thank you.
Good news regarding this cloning and the Buddhist concept on cloning. Then I mentioned there is no reason for us to object, to go against this. Because Buddhism is a religion that which encourages people to use their intelligence, not to interrupt. So next day, this item appeared in the paper. Christianity, no. Islam, no. Hinduism, no. Buddhism, yes. I got so many telephone calls appreciating for making such brave statement. Because our own karma that we have committed, the Buddha says, by using our intelligence, we can overcome the bad effect. This is the nature of intelligence. So when human beings are going to discover certain things through their scientific knowledge, all the other religions objected at the beginning. This is against belief in God. Buddhism is the only religion never discourage. They can, if they misuse by adopting an immoral or wicked method, then Buddhism can stand against them. If they use this intelligence to discover many things that human beings could not discover yet, in time to come, my dear friend, they will discover so many things. Because others object, saying it is not the duty of human being to create some living being, it is the duty of the God. Therefore you cannot create. Allow God to create. If they can create, what harm is there? Let them create, let them produce. In time to come, they may produce better one than the one created by the God.
Thank you. Can we have the next question?
Where is our mind located?
Oh.
Simple, short.
Simple answer is never mind. It's not a joke, actually. People had this belief for a long period that our mind is in our heart. That is how they have created some word, kind-hearted, cruel-hearted. They think that the heart is responsible for this mental attitude. Later, when medical science was so advanced, they realized mind is not located in the heart, it is in our brain. They maintain this belief. Mind is in our brain. When psychologists started to develop by studying the nature of the mind, they come to know mind is not located in the brain. The mind is not located in any particular organs in our body. Mind is just like electricity. When engine and dynamo work together, friction create electricity. But this electricity is not located in the engine or dynamo, not come out from this machine. The friction create electron. Exactly in the same manner, when the heart and the brain work together, mental energy is produced. This energy is spread all over the body, not located in any particular area. The Buddha, he mentioned about the mind. Durangamang, ekacharang, asarirang, guhasayang. The nature of the mind. Durangamang. There is no any other kind of energy in this world that which can run so rapidly other than the human's mind. We can radiate our mental energy throughout the universe. When lightning strikes, we have no time to see appear, disappear. But the mental energy can run 1,000 times faster than lightning. That's why Buddha says, no any other kind of energy other than the human mind. Durangama. Ekacharang. The mind has no companion. Mind exists alone. Two minds never work together. Husband and wife married about 75 years ago. Still husband does not know the nature of the mind of the wife. Wife doesn't know the nature of the mind of the husband. This is the nature of the mind. No one can understand the nature of the mind. Ekacharang, work alone. Asarirang. That means there's no some sort of formation, visible or tangible formation to say this is mine. It is invisible. Guhasayang. Setting in a cave. This is the word they have taken to think. The mind must be in the heart or in the brain. Here the whole body. Mind spread all over our physical body, but produced through the frictions of brain and heart. Then energy exists. Therefore not located in any particular place.
Thank you.
That I would like an answer is, we as human beings are all the time trying to do various things for our benefit, for our children's benefit. So as a result, the things we do daily doesn't really meet what the Gautamas preached to us. So for a doctor, though he practices medicine, he carries out abortion. An accountant, though he's honest, not necessarily presenting the facts to a true figure. A politician promises knowing very well he might not achieve it. Shopkeeper sells goods which he knows are not the right goods. Where do we get ourselves to balance between what we are doing and what we should do so that we can regularize our life?
To fix the mind, to create some sort of determination not to do this or to do this. Today we decide, but tomorrow we'll do it again. Changes take place. Environment, temptation, irritations change the mind. That is the uncertainty in our mind until we attain higher stage of sainthood. Below this level, while leading a worldly life, it is very, very difficult for us to maintain, to control this mind, to do only good things and not to do bad things. Most difficult thing. But try as much possible that you can to do certain things which are good, not to do certain things which are bad, by knowing, not as a law or commandment, through your understanding.
Thank you.
Is what should we do? We see so much of evil around us. Should we not care about them, do our own, control our own self, do good by ourselves, and not make any effort to take action against the evil that is being done by others? Should we mind our own business? Because as I see, the world is deteriorating rapidly because too many people are minding their own business. And the politicians have become moral masters. They decide what is right and wrong. What should Buddhists do in this case? Thank you.
Rang sadhu viharadhiram. Try your best, as much as possible that you can, to guide others, to correct others within your capacity. If you think it is very difficult for you to do that, then you can keep away from them and lead a life where you can maintain peace and satisfaction. Understand? Try your best as much as possible. If you come to know they are not working, they are not ready to listen, don't bother. Without harming, without criticizing, without condemning, keep away from them and lead a lonely life, maintaining peace and satisfaction.
Thank you.
Is the mind, can it relax through meditation? Or can we avoid stress through meditation? Thank you.
Meditation. Ayang bhikkhave maggo sattanang visuddhiya. In Satipatthana Sutra, way of mindfulness, the Buddha says, there is only one method in this world that we have to practice, sattanang visuddhiya, to maintain the purity in our mind. Soka paridvanang samatikkamaya, to reduce your worries and fear and suspicions in our mind. Dukkha domanassanang atthakkamaya, develop the mind to tolerate physical and mental pain and sufferings and disturbances. Nyayassa adhigamaya, for the attainment of sainthood. Nibbanassa satchikiriyaya, attainment of final salvation. Only one method. What is this method? In English we say meditation. But Buddha used the word bhavana. The word meditation does not give the same meaning. Bhavana. Bhavana means development of the mind. Now, education is not the development of the mind. We learn so many things, but no development in the mind. Anger, jealousy, grudge, and ill will and evil thought, all are there. No development. So, in the same manner, meditation means development of the mind by what you call suppressing all the evil, wicked, cruel, harmful things, by cultivating the mind, by concentrating on kindness, compassion and unity and harmony, understanding, it will become the development of the mind. There is no another method. Scientists cannot contribute anything for that. Only meditation. Meditation has no religious label. We cannot say Buddhist meditation, Hindu meditation, Christian meditation or Muslim. Meditation is meditation. Meditation is just like medicine. We can give any label, but medicine is medicine. Anyone can practice meditation without any religion. Don't try to glorify. Our method is higher than others. Our vipassana is higher than samatha. Samatha is higher than vipassana. They try to glorify and mislead, create misunderstanding. So that is the only method. There's no another method.
Thank you. We have time.
Us on the Buddhist view on the feature of trance. As I have experienced in Christianity, in Islam, as well as Hinduism, people used to fall into trance. Does Buddhism have this sort of feature? Thank you.
If you get into trance,
people, they fall into trance, isn't it? So what is your view on this sort of features?
yes, Buddhism has explained actually. When the five senses are not active with the mind, when the mind stops thinking, creating mental object, then the mind penetrates into subconscious mind. Subconscious mind projects so many things. That is why they behave entirely different way. Subconscious mind. Neither God or Buddha or anybody else is influencing the mind. Subconscious mind.
Thank you very much, Chief Reverend. Ladies and gentlemen, much as I like to continue, we have come to the end of day one program.
Sabbityo yajjantu sabbirogo vinasatu mate bhavatvantarayo sukhi dīghāyuko bhava bhavatu sabba mangalang rakkhantu sabba devata sabba buddhanubhavena sada sutti bhavantu te bhavatu sabba mangalang rakkhantu sabba devata sabba dhammanubhavena sada sutti bhavantu te bhavatu sabba mangalang rakkhantu sabba devata sabba sanghanubhavena sada sutti bhavantu te nakkhatte akkhabhutanang papagga nivarana parittassanubhavena hantva te samupaddave yandun nimittang avamangalanche yocamanapo sakunassa saddho papaggaho dussupinang akantang buddhanubhavena vinasamentu dhammanubhavena vinasamentu sanghanubhavena vinasamentu dukkhapatta ca niddukha bhayapatta ca nibbhaya sokapatta ca nissoka hontu sabbe pipanino sabbe buddha balapatta pacchekanam cayang balang arahantanam ca tejena rakkhan vandami sabbaso. So good health and peace of life to all of you. Thank you.